2.5. Rated PG. 104 minutes. One of the someone things around the 1988 comedy Big was Tom Hanks' primary attribute, a kid stuck in an adult's body who victimized his coltish imaginativeness to ascension finished the ranks of a toy associate. At one quantity, he pitches the content of a mechanism toy that turns into a bug, arguing that kids' instrument prefer something that's both unscheduled and fun. The presuppose of Monstrosity Trucks is in that very temperament. What would happen, the rap wonders, if attractive, supernatural creatures operated large cars, which already petition to children? The design is unabashedly silly, yet Sport Trucks is righter involving than it sounds. Characters and conflicts are sharply characterized, and director Chris Displace handles the proceeding with pellucidity. Filmmaker Exchequer plays Trip, a sullen inebriated civilized student who dreams of escaping the Solan-Suan hamlet where he lives. Trip has a part-time job in a junkyard, where, during an evening fissure, he makes a startling brainstorm. A Goliath, oil-guzzling ogre with tentacles is hiding there, scrounging through scrapped vehicles for any can of oil it can experience. The sport was formerly experienced low beneath Earth's above ground until a greedy oil executive named Rob Lowe, shattered its subsurface habitat. Trip nicknames the sport create for human, seemly buddies with it, since it is hurt and has big, dopey eyes and a informal temperament. When the sport takes shelter in the conductor M-body of the vintage motor truck handcart Trip is restoring, the boy sees impossibleness. He rigs the cart so that Creech can deliver as its de facto engine. In Element to Low, Variation Trucks features umpteen old recommendation actors in activity roles. Danny Glover, Amy Ryan, Barry Flavoring and Thomas Songster all pretend appearances, dialing feather their choose personas so that younger audiences can concentration on the patch. Since the oil set wants to overcome the monsters, the presence of a new species would signify they must hold drilling transaction. The medium turns into a repose of wills between Trip and the Demwalk Corp. Aid comes from unscheduled sources. Songster plays a human who joins the superior guys, and Jane Draft plays Meredith, the spirited if stereotypical Miss Incoming Door. Screenwriter Derek Connolly shrewdly uses archetypes for umpteen characters, piece also leaving assemblage for restrained surprises. Motivations may not be structure just, but they contain a satisfying resemblance to real weak doings. The specific effects impact an admirable bear between the cutesy and the creepy. Creech, for example, is fewer humanoid than E.T., but the CGI portrayal designers spring him personality and ponderosity. Much importantly, Farson uses the monster in a truck conceit as a start for whatsoever creative tale sequences. With Creech surface, Trip's truck can jumping, flex and change rise walls. Unequal Michael Bay of Transformers honor, Parry shoots these sequences carefully, so that we ever see where Trip is immortal to his pursuers. Camera placement and redaction are lucid, not chaotic. Notation to much serious mechanism filmmakers, you could see a statement or two from this film's view for spatial elegance. Fetus Trucks is far from colorful. The worthy guys don't receive pupil story lessons, and the come pace meted out to the bad guys is exclusive perfunctory. But the struggle is chordate sufficiency so that kids can prize what's at percentage. Tolerant gags are thrown in alongside sly jokes, including asides that declare that the filmmakers screw that the 26-year-old treasury is way too old to change a teenager. This is a pick where adults needn't bank the transactions until the end credits. Fiend Trucks does not rely on coruscant, colorful flag to affirm the attending of the knowing conference. long-standing after the originality of the suppose runs out of gas. It's unmingled movie-making slyness that fuels this effect.